And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Yes, I understand you guys wrestled in Japan. I keep saying you guys, I'm sorry, ladies. You wrestled in Japan. You wrestled all over in every region. Being that the WWE ended up being the biggest organization, I'll ask Leilani first. Do you think that Cyndi Lauper deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? And what did she mean to women's wrestling, to both you ladies?
I liked her. She was really, really into her girl. She was into Wendy, and she was serious, and she was good, and she was real good to me. I come back from Japan, and my hair was like a green color, and it was awful, and it was WrestleMania, and I didn't know what to do because in Japan you had blonde hair, and over here you had dark hair. And when I came back from Japan, I couldn't get my hair. She felt sorry for me, and I was real upset. And she sent her hair, to fix my hair and dye it, for the event. And I just thought she was really, really sweet. She was really about the match, and she would come over and tell me, "Now, don't hurt my girl. Now, don't make sure you be real easy for her and all. You're a bit heavier than she is." I said, "Okay, I promise I won't hurt that bad." She was serious, but she was so sweet. And
How about you, Judy? What did Cyndi Lauper mean to you?
I think she brought more attention to the women at that time when she got with Wendy and all, and I think she brought women to the forefront with Wendy in that position that she was in. And that song that she had, "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," just really brought it up to another level. And I think she does deserve a spot into the Hall of Fame. And that she should have been put there right the day Wendy went in. And why Vince?
I agree. I totally agree.
Yep.
And nobody, Vince, how come Vince, why he didn't,
Was there any problem between Cyndi and Vince McMahon that you know of? What's up with this?
Not as I know of.
Right. Very strange. Strange omission, Mike.
Here's a strange question, Judy, and then I'll go to Leilani. Obviously, Moolah had a lot of clout within the WWE and the McMahon organization. When a big time player comes in like Cyndi Lauper, who means a lot to that organization, is kind of putting them on the map. Does Moolah change the way she's treating the ladies because she doesn't want Cyndi to see what's actually going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, because when Lillian would be around a star, a bigger star, she was going to help put money in her pocket. She would really treat the girls nice up front, in front of them. But behind the scene, like Leilani would say, she'd push you or slap you upside the head and say, "Hey, don't you do this and don't do that. Don't make me look stupid," or something like that. And people saw, they saw a different side of Lillian than what the girls saw of her. And if anybody that, was there, that lived on the property long enough, they saw what the girls saw. She had two different sides. I'd say she had a split personality in front of the people in Vince, and then at home where we're at.
Leilani, let me ask you this. I understand that Vince held Moolah in high regard. Was there any point you wanted to go to Vince and say, "Hey, there's a problem here"?
Oh, a couple of times I did, but she always told us that, you know, you'll never go nowhere without me. You won't work up here without me. You won't work anywhere without me. And I wanted to do this so bad that I just always kept quiet. I let her mentally abuse me. I shouldn't say anything because she's gone now, you know, and she should be here to be able to defend herself. But I'm not going to talk about certain things, but personal things like things that had involvement with the events. The events. She had a problem with me as far as like getting in the ring and working, or I don't know why. You think she'd be proud of me because I was making her a lot of money, I'm sure. She controlled our money completely, completely. A lot of times we had no clue what we made. She can get home and be gone 2 weeks, and then she loved to play these little games and not tell you who's in, or she just let you come up and beg her. Um, she knew we wouldn't have no money when we got back because she'd have to give us money to go on the road with, and then she had to put it on our books. And then when we got home, the checks came in. She somehow signed them with our names on because Judy and I had our checks brought back to us from WWF at the time. When we left her, we had the checks brought to us, and I looked at myself. Oh my God, I don't remember making this. I don't remember this. I said, look, our signatures on here. Um, I didn't see my WrestleMania check, but so I think she told me I made like 2,400 or something, and then she took her PC after that, and then we drove up there and in our Winnebago and drove back, so that was like another $400 or $500. I knew that Vince McMahon office would give trans money for the girls. They did that. They gave trans money for the girls, and they come to the room one day, and Velvet McIntyre was sitting in the room, and she was in there, and Arnold Skolin come back and said, "I got trans to give you," and okay, let's go in the other room. And we both see each other. So Velvet and I went up to the wall, and we pressed our ears against the wall as hard as we could, and to listen to what he was saying. I him anyway because I traveled with him a lot, so I asked him, but I never did. But I heard him tell her, "Here's $150 for each girl for their transportation for the week." You know, as we drove up there, they just give so much money for it, and not the motel or anything like that, just some trans. So she charged like 5 cents a mile, I think it was at the time. So when we got home and we checked up with her for that week, it was probably about a $1,200 check. Maybe she said it was for the week. Um, then she took off the top her percentage, and she said the office gave each one of us $50 for our transportation. So she got $100 off of Velvet, $100 of Penny Mitchell, and $100 off of myself, and she got her 150. So we got $50 a piece towards our transportation. So I right then that I knew what kind of person she was and that she was stealing from us. At that time, I had to see it with my own eyes. I heard it, but I never seen it with my own eyes. And that time I did. And I told Velvet later on. She probably doesn't remember, but I told her that something I do remember. But I told her, I said she said that we made $50, and Velvet said no, we made 150. I said no, but she told us we made $50. We can't tell her. We already know. And so I don't know how many times she was able to do that. So no telling.
Leilani,
We were not allowed to be able to buy. We couldn't buy a house or anything. We couldn't buy anything. But when Judy and I went our own, Vince McMahon decided to take us on his own and push her aside. Then we started making some money. I'm talking. We made like 2,500 or 2,800 a week, guarantee. Our transportation was taken care of. Even if we got a car, we rented the car. We took care of that. We flew on his a lot with Hulk Hogan. So we did pretty good. We were both able to buy a place after a while when we worked Glamour Girls for a short time. That's where I started making some money. Before that, I didn't make any money, not really. I made enough to get by on, but you know, I had to get a second job. So we all worked at Shoney's. And Donna Cristello became the manager, so she could let us off when we needed to be off. She was in cahoots with Lillian and good friends, and And I liked Donna a lot. I liked all the girls, but I got to where Moolah made me just so nervous, and you couldn't think about going to say anything if they might say something to her, one of the promoters. But there were several promoters that didn't care for it at all, and nobody ever just said anything.
Mike, I gotta ask this, ladies. How much do you think that Moolah made at WrestleMania? I obviously she didn't give any of you what you deserved, and considering the high-profile importance of your match at WrestleMania, how much do you think Moolah walked away with?
I have no idea.
I mean, obviously, it has to be a considerable sum, I would tend to think, since Vince took care of Moolah at the very least.
He took us away from her. He took care of her, but she didn't like that. She didn't. She couldn't handle that at all. He was paying her, I think, $1,000 a week, and he told us he was going to pay her $1,000 a week, and they were going to be on guarantee. And that's the first time I ever made any kind of money, except for I worked for Vern Gagne. But that's the only time I really made any kind of money. So that was not a very good time for me. Before to leave her was really hard. I felt intimidated to try to leave her, but I did it. And he told us that we went to go have a meeting with him at his office with him. And that's when we wanted to do the Glamour Girls, but we were too afraid to say anything from her. And he was looking at us, and I just put my head down because I didn't know what to do, what to say. And Moolah was just going on and on. Well, I can manage them, and and that's not the idea we had. So we didn't get to talk. He knew something was going on. He just started asking questions because he called Judy up when we were in Arizona. He called Judy straight face, called her in the motel room. She answered the phone and she said, "I'm talking to Vince." I said, "Oh." He asked her. I'm not sure what he asked her, but he said something about, can you tell me what kind of money you've been making or something? Judy, I forgot.